28 years later, the Bone Temple picks up right after the first movie ends. If you remember Spike, the kid who just lost his mom and built that massive skull tower, well, he runs into a cult-like gang led by a complete psychopath named Jimmy Crystal. And that's where the story begins. Spike basically becomes their prisoner, and you end up watching the whole movie hoping he finds a way out before he either gets killed or starts believing that this twisted lifestyle is just how things are now. And this cult-like gang is deeply unsettling. They're basically feral survivors who've embraced murder and torture as their daily routine. It's pretty brutal, and sometimes I thought we were heading into some serious dark territory. But this is also what keeps you glued to the screen, because now the stakes feel real and the danger is constant. At the same time, we follow Dr. Kelson over at the Bone Temple. He's played by Ralph Fiennes, and he's the standout character in this movie for sure. He's spent nearly 3 decades in this apocalypse, and he's fixating on one big question: do the infected still have any humanity left? And so he's studying this alpha infected guy named Samson, trying to understand if there's any actual brain function happening or if they're just mindless killers. It's honestly a fascinating angle because these aren't traditional zombies, they're people infected with a virus, which means technically they might be able to be cured or brought back somehow. And if you've watched other zombie content before, this idea might sound familiar, but the way this movie handles it actually feels fresh. Ralph Fiennes absolutely crushes every scene he's in. His performance is so dry and matter-of-fact that even when he's surrounded by horror, he'll just calmly state what he's thinking, and somehow it's both intense and oddly funny at the same time. The movie does take some big swings, and not everything lands perfectly. The ending gets a bit over the top with Jimmy's storyline, but honestly, I was never bored. Unlike the first film, which felt like it switched gears halfway through, this one stays focused. The two separate stories eventually crash together in a finale that had my entire theater laughing and cheering because of how wild and satisfying it got. Jack O'Connell brings serious menace as Jimmy, and Fiennes just elevates everything around him. This franchise has always done its own thing with the whole infected versus zombie concept, and the Bone Temple continues that tradition while exploring ideas about evil, survival, and what happens to humanity when society collapses. If you've seen it, let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you're enjoying these reviews, please subscribe, it really helps out. Bottom line, it's a solid movie, no regrets walking into the theater for this one. Thanks for watching.